So we will now install or add the device simulator express in our Visual Studio Code. But before that, let's revisit our slide. Here, it tells us that in order for this to work, you must have the Python 3.7 plus versions. So we'll need to check if our Python version is either 3.7 plus or 3.8. So as long as it's not below 3.7. So here on my Visual Studio Code, it tells me that I have the 3.8.3 version. So that should make me ready to install the simulator. In your end, you need also to check here if you have versions 3.7 plus or 3.8, or as long as it's not below 3.7. So if you cannot see it here regarding the version, you can also check it here in the command prompt by just typing Python then -- version, which will show me Python 3.8.3, or the other one could also be py then space then version, which should also show me the same. Just in case it will not work in your end, you cannot verify, you can try to search on the internet how to check the version of your Python. So okay, so now I have the 3.8.3. Then so if in case your versions are not 3.7 plus, I would recommend that you download the latest version of the Python. So just download this one and then install, and then at the end I think you might need to close your Visual Studio Code and then try to reopen, so that the update on the Python would be reflected here. So okay, now let's start with adding the device simulator express. So to do that, you just need to go to the extensions options, and here just search for device simulator express. Okay, so you should see here the first entry with that comes from the Microsoft. So you can click that, and then here you just click install. So if you notice, the informations here are actually the same with the ones that I shared to you earlier, these ones on the page. So these are just the same. So we'll wait for it to be installed. So this might take some time, but it should be okay. So while waiting, let's go to the resources. So earlier I just showed it to you, the source. So there are useful links here, so not everyone might be really needed for you to go to check, but at least there are some things I would like to recommend, like let's say for example, for the Adaptive Circuit Playground Express, under here you have the library tutorial. So that should show you it will show you the tutorial for the hardware. So it's for the actual hardware that this tutorial was targeted. So you can check here under this. We have the first things first here, so it will tell you what are the things you might need. By the way, here he recommends that you will install the Mu editor, but for us I would recommend that we'll just stick to the Visual Studio Code. Then okay, now for the next slide we have the red LED. So here it will show you, this is where you can find the red LED, and then here this is where the code, sample code. So later, once our simulator is running, you can actually use this code to try it out. And then here you can see these are the available resources for the slide switch, the tap, shake, the NeoPixels, and many other options here. So that's for that link. Then, and also the second one, it will also give you another GitHub resources or repository where you can see lots of examples for this particular simulator. So like, let's say for example, we have here also an example for the red LED, a red LED blink, and then the red LED blinky short. So still these are additional examples that you can explore. And lastly, for this one, intro for the hardware. So this one actually will be very useful for you. So it will help you, or at least give you an idea where can we found those sensors and LEDs, like this one, the USB connector, the GST battery input, and here these are the alligator or crook clip pads. That means you can, using alligator clips, you can clip it here. So this is the microchip, and then now these are the LEDs, like the green LED, the red LED, and then the NeoPixel LED. So and a lot more that you can learn from these resources. Now let's check. Okay, so now it's okay, it's now installed. So since it's already installed, we can now try to run the simulator. So to do that, we need to access it through the command palette of the Visual Studio Code. Now to access that one, you just need to have the shortcut in your keyboard, or is Control, Shift, and P. Okay, so that's the command palette of the Visual Studio Code. So again, Control, Shift, and P, it will appear, it will show the command palette. So the first thing we need to do, right now in my end, several of the commands already appears, like the device simulator express, open simulator, the device simulator express getting started, and device simulator express new file. But if it doesn't appear in your end, you need to manually type it up. So device simulator, then express, and then okay, and if something appears now, like the ones I have here, you can just use the down, up or arrow down. So for me, I can move it down or up. Now I would like to open the simulator. Okay, so now you should expect something like this. Do you want us to try and install these extensions dependencies by a virtual environment for you? So once this one appears in your Visual Studio Code, just click yes. So now it will try to create a virtual environment for us. So okay, let's just wait for a bit for this one. Anyway, later when it's done, it will also show us some notification. Okay, I have here lab extension, so I think I'll just disregard this one for now. So okay, let's try to go back to the references. So here you can see these are the switches and the buttons, the infrared receiver, transmitter, and proximity. So I guess this will be very helpful for you. So I will not try to discuss all of this, but I will give you it's up to you to really take a look on this and explore them on your own. So I'll just try to close them one by one. Okay, and then so okay, so it's still it's not yet done. So okay, so now here under the files, if you could see that I also included these files came from the repository. So I included some sample files, like for the red LED. So this is the code for the NeoPixel. So if you're wondering what is the NeoPixel, so well, open it again. NeoPixel. These are the NeoPixel LED, and there are 10 of them here in the actual hardware and also with the simulator. So I think it's, yeah, so this one here, if you can see, there are 10 color NeoPixel LED. So this is just an example. Okay, now you notice here that the command palette appears again, but this time it shows the 3 devices. So if it appears in your end, that means that it was successful. It has successfully installed the needed dependencies. So, and also the extensions in the virtual environment. So for us, we'll need to choose the Circuit Playground Express. Okay, so here it is. So now we have the simulator in our page. It appears now. So the next thing we'll need to do is we'll try to test, at least for now I have this code. I'll go back to this one. Okay, so I'll go back to the red LED. Okay, so something weird happens to the simulator, okay, so I'll try to close this one and I will reopen it. Hopefully it will fix that issue why it doesn't show properly with regards to our visual simulator of the device. So okay, so still okay, I guess it's doesn't show now. So we'll try to open again the simulator. Control Shift P, then okay, select Device Simulator Express, open simulator, and then okay, then so let's select the Circuit Playground Express. Okay, so now it's properly showing. So right now we have the code in this portion, the red LED. I will try to run it by clicking the play button here. So now it will tell you by selecting agree and run, you understand the extension. Okay, so just agree and run this one. Then okay, so you notice here, I will highlight my mouse. Okay, you notice there's a portion here that lights up, seems to be lighting up by into a red color, and then it turns off. So this is the red LED, and it's currently running the code here, which we'll try to understand this one. Basically, first it imports the library Adafruit Circuit Playground. From the Adafruit Playground library, we import the CP, which will be the library for this simulator, and then I also import time from the sleep library, and then here we set that the cp.red LED will be set to true. That means we will light it up, and then we'll wait for half a second, and then we'll turn it off by setting it into false, and then we set it again to wait for half a second. So that's what appears here now. You can see that it's blinking this red LED. So I can stop it now. Okay, let's try to run another example here, like this one, the NeoPixel. So okay, if we'll check on the documentation, you will find out that here, this part, we are setting the brightness to its maximum value, which is 1, and then here we specify that the NeoPixel at index 0, and that means we are referring to this LED. So just to verify, actually we can go to the documentation, um, uh, the tutorial. Okay, let's open this tutorial, and then let's click this one, the NeoPixel part. So from here, it will okay, so here it shows us the index for each NeoPixel LED. So this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 9. So here, since I set it to 0, I am referring to this one. So okay, we'll try to run this again for this one. So okay, so now you can see that it's running. It turns on and waits for 1 second, and then it turns off, and then wait for also another 1 second. So basically that's how you run the code. Okay, take note that whatever code you opened in this portion will be the code that will be executed by this simulator. So for example, let's say I oops, okay, I'll select the red LED. Okay, here I'll put that one, so it's the one I'm currently opening. And now if I click the play, so it will tell us that currently running the document device simulator CPE red LED.py, which is this file. And also the red LED is now blinking, so that means it's really working. And if I select this one, the other file, which is for the NeoPixel, and then if I also run this, okay, so now it's working for this NeoPixel at index 0. So at least it will tell you which file that the code is currently being run. The same also here in the output, it should tell you the file selected is the document, device selector, express resources, and then the CPE red LED.py. So that's how you can identify how this thing works. Now in the next video, I will try to discuss more on other things that will be useful for us.